Welcome to 1000 PS. Welcome to the launch of Suzuki's GSX-8TT here in Slovenia. Now, we've already done a little bit of a review on this already, but the guys wanted to get my opinion of the GSX-8TT and the T, which is the naked version. And I think they've asked me to do that because I'm the oldest member of the 1000 PS crew. And I remember when Wes Cooley and GSX, the big GS 1000 was being raced, and it just looked freaking awesome. It was like big Yoshimura AMA race bikes that used to bend in the middle because they had so much power. And that is kind of reminiscent of what the styling has gone back to. Interestingly, like, these colours were never actually used by Suzuki back in the 70s and 80s. Suzuki have just kind of used the 70s and 80s colour. But I think in terms of styling, it really hits the mark. Essentially, it's a GSX-8S in different bodywork to make it look a little bit retro. And we've tested the S many times before, we've tested the R, and we've tested the two V-Stroms that share the same engine. So it's the same 776 parallel twin that we've seen in previous models before. In this bike, it's 81.8 bhp, 57 foot-pounds of torque, exactly the same as the GSX-8S, which is the naked version of this, which is modern with the kind of stacked headlights that looks a little bit weird. Everything else is exactly the same. So we've got same forks, same frame, same rear shock, same Dunlop tyres, same Nissin brakes, same wheels, same rotors, same discs, same rider aids. So the rider aids are relatively basic, A, B and C. You can change the rider modes as you ride. It's very simple, it's very easy to use, very simple mode button. The dash is simple and clear. It's the same dash that we've seen on other Suzuki models before. However, there's no ambient temperature. Yet there is an ambient temperature on the V-Strom, but not on this, even though they share the same one. In terms of rider aids, there's no IMU. It's pretty basic and pretty simple. So we've got no lean sensitive ABS, we've got no lean sensitive traction control. It's just conventional ABS, conventional traction control that I can change and turn off on the move. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. The fuel tank goes up a couple of litres. That's actually a little bit bigger. The seat has changed, the headlight has changed, the front cowl has obviously changed. In terms of weight, we're 1 or 2 kilograms different to the S because we've got a different battery. It's got the lithium battery, which is 0.8 kilograms, and the standard battery is 3 kilograms. So we've saved a little bit of weight there. But near as damn it, it's 1 or 2 kilograms different. So before riding it on the plane over here, I was kind of going, okay, it's a GSX-8S. I know exactly what that's like. I rode it in the launch in the south of France. I've ridden it back in the UK. I know what to expect. It's a cosmetic exercise. It's going to feel the same. And yeah, in some ways it does feel the same, but in other ways it kind of doesn't. I don't know if it's because the weather's been brilliant here. I don't know if it's because the Dunlops are the same make, they're the same tyres that's on the 8S, but I don't know if they're from a different production run. I don't know if it's the roads that have got great grip, but this bike gives me more confidence than the 8S. It feels like the tyres have got more grip and a little bit more feel. It feels a little bit lighter, a little bit more agile, a little bit more eager to turn than the 8S. And I remember on the 8S, the rear shock wasn't the best. It just kind of ran out of momentum. It kind of gave up after you started going quite hard. And we rode fairly hard today, and the shock's been composed, the suspension's been really good. It's really basic. There's no adjustment on the front, and I've just got preload on the rear. There's no remote preload, and the preload is actually quite difficult to get to. But I didn't feel the need to change anything. I'm like 81, 82 kilograms, and I think that's kind of the roundabout area where the bike has been set up for. As I say, we've been riding reasonably hard, the ground clearance is good, I can just tickle the pegs on the odd occasion. Braking is pretty basic, it's basic ABS, but it's not too intrusive, and there's a lovely feel on the lever, it's nice around town. The 3 rider modes, C is kind of like a wet mode, A is kind of like a bit aggressive. Personally, I preferred B mode. B mode is nice and soft, nice mid-range, nice drive, and it's easy to wheelie the bike in B mode. Pulling wheelies is not actually scientific, but it does show throttle response, it shows throttle delivery, it shows the torque, and it shows how nicely fueled it is. And in B mode, I can just balance wheelies lovely. The basic difference between A, B, and C is the power delivery and torque curve. Peak power is the same, but it's how it delivers the power. In terms of overall suspension, it's set up as a soft, naked, sporty bike. It's not MT-07 Agile, it's not KTM Duke Agile, it's not like a Ducati Monster, but it's not a labouring sofa. It's more towards the soft end, but we rode it really hard today, and there was only a few occasions where I went, yeah, I'm getting towards the limits, where you can ride similar bikes in this category hard, and it's harder to get to the limit. On this bike, you kind of get to the limit a little bit earlier, but that kind of gives you the feeling that you're doing something. It's really enjoyable to ride briskly. The engine is all about the torque. It's not about over rev, it's not about screaming it, just about tapping on the quick shifter from time to time, using that mid-range, using the torque, having some fun. It lacks a little bit of character for me. There's no airbox noise, there's no real exhaust noise. There is an aftermarket road legal Euro 5 Akropovich exhaust that you can fit that sounds great, but obviously that's going to cost you extra. In terms of style, for me, I think it's a big thumbs up. I'd love to see it if they do it in the blue and white or the red and white, but I really like the styling. I much prefer the TT with the nose bodywork over the naked standard T. But the big issue, well, not issue, the big question mark or the big discussion that we need to have a word with below is price. Because this is 9,999, 10 grand nearest damn it in the UK. The naked version is 9,599, so 9,600 nearest damn it, which is not expensive, but it is more expensive than the bikes that it's based on, which is the S and the R, which are around £1,500 to £2,000 cheaper. And I don't think this should be that more expensive than the bikes it's based on. I think it should be more expensive because, in my opinion, it's more desirable, but I don't think it should be that more expensive. But let's fire some questions below and get a discussion going. Equally, when we get to 10 grand, we look across the competition and there's a lot of bikes you can get for 10 grand. Like Honda's new Hornet, for example, which is over 150 horsepower with a Fireblade derived engine. Okay, it's not got the retro styling and it's aimed at a different market, but it's a lot of bike for 10 grand. A little bit more, we're getting Yamaha's XSR 900, which is a retro looking Yamaha with way more power, way more torque, way more advanced rider aids and better suspension. So it's all about that price. Some people are going to be buying on PCP and it's going to be another £2, £3 or maybe £5 more a month. For some people, they're going to be looking at it and going, it's too much compared to the S and the R. But let's get your comments below. But in terms of what it's like to ride, how it makes me feel, do I like it, is it being enjoyable? Tick, 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 tick. The only question mark is the price. Hope you've enjoyed our little review, or my little review of the T and the TT. If you want to know any more technical questions about actual tank size capacity, seat height, and what accessories you can fit, fire some questions below. We've got a big team at 1000 PS. One of those guys will get back to you as soon as we can. Thanks for watching. You know you've already clicked to subscribed, so I'll just see you on the next one. Cheers.